Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Change Your Lifestyle, Change Your Life Vitamins, Supplements, and Meds. Oh my, special segment sponsored by the Black Women's Health Imperative. We're so glad that you're here this evening, and I'm excited about my fellow panelists tonight talking about this very important topic. Now, more than ever, we should be taking control of our health and wellness. Many of us have found ways to care for ourselves through physical activity, healthy eating, and adopting more self care habits. As many of us have become more health conscious consumers, we've also seen an increase in marketing and the use of over the counter products from gummies to water drops to detox teas and protein supplements. Well, our panel today includes three individuals, myself included, who have each committed to a lifestyle of wellness and self care. My name's Michele, and I am a senior program manager with the Black Women's Health Imperative. I'm also a nurse, a bariatric patient, and a strong advocate of obesity care. I know personally about committing to a lifestyle of wellness and self care. Well, without further ado, let me introduce our guests. Our first guest is Dr. Erica Pierce. Erica is a pharmacist, philanthropist, and passionate Black Women's Health Imperative lifestyle coach. Her core belief is that you can take control over your own health through lifestyle. Dr. Pierce, a Louisiana native, spends time between Birmingham, Alabama, and Baltimore, Maryland, with her husband and her standard poodle. In her free time, she enjoys seeking local coffee shops, working out, reading, and simply enjoying life. Welcome, Erica.
Thank you, Michele.
Our next guest is Mr. Dexter Humphrey. Dexter is the founder and owner of Inspire Mobility LLC, a company that specializes in therapeutic massage, bodywork, and injury prevention. He is local in the Nacogdoches area in Louisiana. Dexter is also a CYL Squared life coach who participated in the program as well and lost a lot of weight. Dexter has an amazing story, and I can't wait until he shares it with us tonight.
Hello, everyone.
How's everybody tonight?
Excited.
Doing good, really good.
Me too. Very excited. So, well, as they say, let's get this party started. Let's talk about vitamins, supplements, and meds. Oh my. So, first, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about our lifestyle change program at the Black Women's Health Imperative, or BWHI, as we all refer to our organization. Talk to our listeners about what is it like to be a lifestyle coach, and what's the purpose? What is it that you guys are doing? You guys are doing great work, I know, but talk to us and talk to our listeners about what the Change Your Lifestyle, Change Your Life program is all about. Anybody? I'll pick on you, Erica. You go for it.
Hi, Michele. I'm excited to be here. Like I said, I am a BWHI lifestyle coach, and what we just believe in, I, along with other coaches like Dexter, we just provide participants with the tools that will help them to prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. We know through diet and exercise, the two main lifestyle modifications that can get done, So through the CDC program that we provide, which provides evidence, that's just the work that we do. We just have participants that come who are motivated, committed, determined, and leave with the tools to go ahead and change their life, just so empowering our participants to take charge themselves. And we sit back, help, and navigate and enjoy the ride most of all.
That's great. That's great. So you partner with participants when they come into the program, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a class that is ending on Wednesday, and my participants are like, "Oh no, coach, what are we going to do? I'm not ready to leave." And that year-long program, we just work and give those skills that they can go out and just change their life.
Awesome. Dexter?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. For me, um, I we I really love this. The excuse me. This really hit home with me, uh, and what made me be a coach is because I was a pre-diabetic. Both parents and grandparents were both pre-diabetics, um, or some end up developing type 2 diabetes. So it really pushed me and urged me because I used to be a very large guy also. So it really pushed me and urged me to help my family, to be here, uh, to be here longer for my children, and uh, to be able to enjoy my life the way I want to. So that was a real big push, or a real big thing for me that really made me become a coach. And whenever I started, and me showing all my participants, and all of them were getting great results. So that actually pushed me to go ahead and start also. So that's how I ended up on my weight loss journey as well.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And I'll ask you some more questions later about your journey, Dexter, because like I said, you have shared, in private with me what where you've come from. And I think it's so inspiring. And I think also you both bring such a wealth of knowledge, lived experience, and your own commitment to health and wellness is really an inspiration to other people. So that's great. And I can say that personally, I also have participated in the CYL Squared program. And I have been a participant, not a coach, though I'm trained in the curriculum. But in our class too, we're about to wind up and we're all going, oh no, wait, we can't stop meeting. We got to meet. So I think it just speaks to the importance, right, of having someone walk this journey alongside you, right? And
Yes.
that to know that you're not by yourself. And, I'll talk a little bit later about my own journey, which includes bariatric surgery in my journey. But one of the things that I really, really stress on any of these panels that I sit on is that nothing is ever a substitute for the commitment to a lifestyle change. No matter what you do, no matter what tools you need to use in your toolbox, that has to always be one of them, is that you've got to make a commitment to changing your lifestyle so that you can indeed change your life. So anyway, but with that, I'm gonna transition into, and I'm gonna pick on you first, Erica, with some of the questions that I know that our viewers probably want to hear about, and some that they've even submitted beforehand. But I would like for you, as the pharmacist on the team, to explain the difference between prescribed medications and over-the-counter medications.
Yes, Michelle, thank you. And I'm coming with my lifestyle coach hat on as well. So just to let that be clear. But between prescribed and over the counter. So prescribed, it's medication that we get through our physician, and should only be taken for you. We can have prescription meds that our mom has, but that's for your mom. It's not for you. So that is the important thing when it comes to prescription meds. Over-the-counter meds, just like the name says, is medications that we can just get over the counter, such as vitamins, supplements, and etc. The one thing with over-the-counter as well, and prescription meds are required to be approved by the FDA, and proven to be safe and effective. On the other hand, over-the-counter medications such as vitamins, and supplements do not have that same requirement. Some vitamins and supplements, they can go the route and be certified, proving that it's saying, hey, this vitamin, this supplement, it is what it is, but it does not have that requirement. But that is kind of the main difference in between the two. Also, like ibuprofen, a med that we often take for headaches, prescribed will be at a greater dose than opposed to over the counter. So those are just kind of some of those differences between the two.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you for that. So you start to talk about this already, I think, Erica, but can you speak a little bit more to like what are some things that we should know before we take over the counter medications?
Whew, yeah, that can be a lot. You walk into Costco, you walk into Walmart, and you're down this aisle, and you're like, "Whoa, I need this, I need this, I need this. Let me just grab it all."
Hmm.
And reality is, the one thing you need is to go to your physician. Um, the only way that vitamins are um, individually needed based on our levels. So the main way that we know what we need is to go to our physicians and check our levels. Without that, we have no idea. So that would be kind of the first way I would go about it. Vitamins are essential nutritions that we get from our food, you know. So if we're eating a whole diet, we are 80-90% getting everything that we need. If there's that gap, when you go to your physician, get your levels taken, we kind of know how to navigate that. Um, there are instances, like, for example, pregnant women needing vitamins to support that. There are individuals who are vegan, who are maybe not getting those minerals from their food that we may need to get vitamins to fill that gap. But overall, physician, let's get these numbers, see what we kind of need. Other things I would kind of say when we're looking for vitamins as well is take them as directed. Also, be mindful when reading the labels, kind of looking at the label and seeing this is what's in this bottle, that what it says it is. Definitely thinking about diabetic patients. Sometimes some of our vitamins and supplements have added ingredients, being sugar. You know, our gummies a lot of times have sugar. So just kind of being mindful of that as well. Another thing is checking for drug interactions when we're taking our vitamins and supplements. In particular, a very big interaction, vitamin K and warfarin. Just kind of being mindful of all those things. But I do stand on getting those levels checked. That is the first way I think to go to navigate that world.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really, really sound information, Erica. And I'll share a personal story just recently, right? So I'm a nurse, right? So you think I know these things, but my other disclaimer is I do not claim to know everything. I do not. I do not. Okay. But I was having some issues with my blood pressure recently, which since I lost the weight, I really have been in pretty good shape, but it was creeping up, creeping up, creeping up. And so my doctor's like, okay, what's going on? So for she has me coming and getting it checked every week. And I'm like, what is going on? Like I haven't had this issue for like a long time. Well, come to find out, I have a knee issue and I was taking Motrin over the counter, right? But I was taking between 600 and 800 milligrams whenever my knee was bothering me. Well, one of the drug side effects is it can raise your blood pressure. So I'm like, oh, wow. So it's like, so even being a medical professional, you still need
Yeah.
to pay attention. You need to be talking to your physician, talking to, if you see a nurse practitioner, whoever it is that is your licensed medical professional, you need to be having those conversations because we grab stuff like you said, we go to Costco or whatever, and we grab the bulk. Like I'm gonna get the bulk of the Motrin, right? There's 300 capsules, and this is a big savings. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, you can't, like, you shouldn't even be taking it. So it's really important, as we're looking at getting these supplements and a lot with the weight loss industry. Listen, been there, done that. And I could tell you, if there was the magic pill, your girl would have, I could tell you right now what it is. But the spoiler alert is there isn't one. So, trust me, I tried it. There isn't one. Okay.
We'll call that pill, Michelle, the healthy plate.
There it is. Right, right. That's right. Getting up and just moving a little bit, finding some way to trick yourself into moving your body. I don't know, but I'm just saying that I think that we just have to know that these things that are marketed to us, that it's going to be the next big thing that is going to make us lose like 100 pounds in 3 weeks. Spoiler alert, that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think it's important. So you really have talked a lot about what we should be thinking about before we go buy these things. We should be talking to our physicians. Another question I have for you is, how does one decide when to take a prescribed medication versus taking a natural supplement? And can you or should you do both at the same time? Like, how do we make this decision? Because a lot of times I know when I have worked with people, right, on the weight loss side of the bariatric side of things, and people are like, well, I could just take this I could just take this supplement, or I could just, let me just try that. And it's like, I, that is probably not the best choice without guidance from your healthcare provider. But what are your thoughts about that?
Uh, I stand, Michelle, with that healthcare provider. That is really the only way that we will know. Um, so that is kind of where it stands. I say if we go in and say we're going to grab this bottle of vitamin D, our numbers may be perfect. We don't need that. So now I'm taking a vitamin D that I don't even need and may do more harm than good in the long run. You said, is there a chance where you may have to take both? There's very well maybe a chance. Like I said, that is where that comes in, where your physician will be able to tell you, hey, I really think that we need to go this route. As African Americans, vitamin D, we tend to be low in vitamin D. And that only way to know is if we get the numbers. With vitamin D, we tend to be tired and foggy, and it's like, oh, what's going on? I'm reaching for that coffee at 3 p.m. and putting 5 cups or tablespoons of sugar in it, and I'm thinking that's going to help me. In all reality, it's our numbers that's low. And if we
Mhm.
keep going that route, we're going more pushing towards getting diabetes when all I have to do is get those numbers. My doctor can tell me that, and I'll get that vitamin D. And if our
Mhm.
levels are that low, we're going to need something that is prescribed as
Mhm.
opposed that is something on that counter. So
Mhm.
that's just one I know we see a lot of often and we think, but in all reality, we won't know until we go there.
Mhm. That's good. And so, just for our listeners, when you talk about going to your provider, and you talk about getting these levels, how do people advocate to get levels? And can you expound upon what you mean by that? Like, if let's pretend I don't know, I do know, but let's pretend I don't know. So what would you tell me? It's like, so like, Dr. Erica, what are you talking about levels? Like, what do I do? What levels are you talking about? And what do I say to my doctor?
I will go in and just kind of tell your doctor, hey, doc, this is kind of what I've been noticing, my symptoms, and just say, hey, can we just get my levels checked? I'm interested in starting this vitamin D. I'm interested in starting these vitamins, and I just want to kind of know where my numbers are before I go. And what do you recommend? I say that you and your doctor, your healthcare provider, you're a team. So
Mhm.
go in there, ask for that, advocate for yourself, and y'all can figure it out together.
Mhm. Thank you. Yeah, because that's important, because sometimes people don't feel comfortable, right? Talking to their physician and asking those kind of questions, and even really being able to describe symptoms sometimes, right? Or like you said, have that slump, in the afternoon, and we think it's just because, I just have a slump at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, So you go and get the coffee, you load it up with sugar, and you're like, oh, and for temporarily that can work, right? But tomorrow's coming, and the same thing is going to happen over and over and over again, and before you know it, you've gotten yourself into a health situation that is not optimal. So I think that it's important for those listening to know, like, you have a right, and you should always advocate for what you need, and keep notes. Take a notebook with you, and you can ask your questions at your healthcare provider, and you can also take notes in what they're saying. The other thing you can do is take somebody that you trust with you, so that you have two sets of ears and eyes, right, to hear what's happening. And sometimes a family member notices things that you are not noticing. And so taking someone with you, because they might say, hey, you know what? But I also noticed that, you won't be sleeping 2 hours a night, or, you seem to get anxious at this time of the day, or whatever. So really helping to provide that baseline information, so the doctor knows what to order, so that you have a better picture of your overall health.
Yeah, and I actually have a quick fact for you, Michelle, some trivia that I recently learned that of all the Americans, 88% that take a vitamin or supplement each day what percent of them were demonstrated to have a deficiency in what they took? Anyone can take a guess? You or Dexter? Want to give me a number? How many were actually deficient who really needed it?
10%.
I'd probably say maybe 45.
Okay, oh, okay, you were on the low end, Michele. You were on the high end, Dexter. It was 24%.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
24%, right.
We-
So we really need to know, right? We need to know. We need the actual data, as we call it,
Yeah.
right? We need the actual data to tell us where we are so that we know what to take. And so if we are deficient, we need to know that. If we aren't deficient, we need to know that too.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, if we don't need vitamins, we're saving money. Because another fact I found was that America spends $500 billion on vitamins and supplements each year.
Wow.
Wow.
Imagine if we take that money and bring it to our grocery stores and just get maybe that leafy green that we need to add to our plate, that lean chicken that we can add to our plate. But that shocked me.
Wow. You said 500 billion?
Yes.
That's
500.
crazy. That's
Like I said,
crazy.
Costco has it at our hand, so we're just gonna.
Listen, I got the wrong hustle going on.
That's what I was thinking.
I got the wrong hustle, right?
Yeah. So, like I said, make sure it's your physicians and make sure we're reading the labels. Definitely look out for the ones that are certified. The two offhand is NSF and USP. There are two reputable entities that certify your vitamins and supplements. So just kind of navigating that way and making sure that we're not having drug interactions and reading the labels, making sure what's in that bottle is what it says it is.
Yeah. Awesome. So before I pivot, I'm going to pivot in a minute because Dexter, I want to give you time and I've got some specific questions for you as well. But I'm going to hop over to our chat. And one of the questions is, how effective are gummies? It seems like gummies are the new trend, right? But how much are they really absorbed? What's your thought? What's your thought, Erica, about the gummies?
When it comes to gummies, like I said, first, it depends if we actually need that vitamin. Um, I would have to look up in particular, so I can definitely get back to this question to see the absorption between pills and the gummies, because that's definitely a difference. And it's also depending on what, vitamin or supplement it is. But also when it comes to gummies, my main concern is looking at what's in that gummy. It's additives. It's not just that vitamin and supplement. Chances are a gummy is going to have a higher rate of sugar in it than that capsule. So it's just kind of looking at all those components. Yeah, they taste great, but what are ingredients in there?
Well, I think with any supplement, you correct me if I'm wrong, Erica, you have to pay attention to the quality of the supplement, right? Because a lot of times you're getting things like they say, oh, take chromium, but there's like 599 ingredients before it gets to chromium. So it's like,
just like our food, Michele.
Right, exactly. So it's like, so what is this really? I'm a little confused. So it's really important to know like what companies, really adhere to a high quality of way they manufacture, right? Their vitamins and supplements and things like that. So I think that's just a really important point to make. So with that, I'm going to pivot. Dexter, I'm going to put you on the spot here for a little bit because I've been.
Wait, hold on, Michele. I saw in the comments they were asking about the two companies NSF and USP. Those are the top two that are very much reputable.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. All right. So Dexter, I'm not going to do my spoiler alert because I want you to tell us like how successful you have been with lifestyle change. I'm totally impressed by this. And so when you started in the lifestyle change program, did you think that you were going to lose as much weight as you did?
No, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
No, not at all. Actually, I will never forget talking with my director, and a lot of my participants was losing a great deal of weight because I would also give them meal plans just on my own, you know, to go by, and everybody was losing weight, and my participant was losing weight, but the instructor was a big guy, you know. So you know, they sat me down, had to talk to me like, Dex, you know, look, we're getting amazing results from you. You're doing a great job, but you're really not looking the part right now. So, in which I understood,
Mm-hmm.
but the job that I was doing, you know, doing security and things like that, I felt like my strength came from my weight, you know, or
Mm-hmm.
my yeah, that's pretty much it. So I was like, okay. So what made me start is I was driving from home to home treating patients, and I could not drive 15 to 20 minutes without dry mouth or wanting to urinate. You know, my blood pressure was fine, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I went to my mom's house to check my blood sugar because she was a type 2 diabetic. And I checked my blood sugar. My blood sugar was 636. And my mom went into a panic. You hear me? She did not let me see the meter at that time. She just
Mm-hmm.
started panicking. Oh Lord, you gotta go to the doctor. You got to go to the doctor right now. I'm like, Mama, what's wrong? What's wrong, boy? In the country, so I'm completely from, you know, I'm here in the South, so they don't call diabetes diabetes. They
Sugar.
say sugar.
Yes, 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 yes,
And that's what
It's
my
all.
mom said. Boy, you got sugar, sugar.
yes,
I ain't got
yes.
no sugar, boy. You got sugar, boy. You- So I call, so I called my physician. When it's all him, he put me on 500 milligrams of metformin, and so that really kicked me into overdrive. All right, Dex, you need to get yourself together. Okay. So my grandmother, okay, and when I would tell people my grandmother, so my grandmother that's in my dad is Nigerian. So my grandmother in Nigeria, she's a master herbalist. So her and my ND, which is a naturopathic doctor, Miss Barbara Landry, she actually gave me some other things. So that's when I got into supplements and stuff like that. She gave me an alternate route from my metformin. Okay. So people who have taken metformin, there are a lot of side effects, you know, when it comes to taking metformin. One of the biggest side effects or the most common side effects that I hear of, and especially down here in the South, is if you put something bad in your mouth, you're immediately going to go to the bathroom. You cannot wait. You cannot. There can't be anybody in front of you. You have to get somewhere. When it hits, you have to get somewhere then. Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
So in the process of doing that, I stopped eating meat 2 weeks out of the month. So at my biggest, I was, let's see, at my biggest, I was a 347, I think it was. Um, at my biggest, I was 347, and I mean, just a huge guy. This is one of my photos here. I look like two totally different people now.
Mhm,
Uh,
mhm,
but from there, I stopped eating meat 2 weeks out of the month, increased my activities, increased my vegetables and my fruit intake, completely stopped. Let me not say completely stopped. What I knew that contained lots of sugar in, I stopped. Let me say that because so many of our foods that we eat have sugar in it that has different names for sugars.
mhm.
Uh, so I did that, and I did that for, let's see, about 11 months and close to a year, and I lost 137 pounds in that process of doing so. So supplements were a big thing for me, especially with taking away from different especially taking away like from different foods. One big thing that was for me, um, that I used was sea moss. Because our body has, and Erica, please correct me if I'm wrong, our body has 102 uh, nutrients, or needs 102 nutrients and minerals. Um, and sea moss has 92 of those minerals in it. So that was because I stopped eating meat. So that was a real big additive. I think I should say that really helped me. It boosted my energy. It actually boosted my testosterone because I'm in my 30s and I didn't realize how men our testosterone levels really start to drop. Um, and with using CMOS, it actually boosted my testosterone levels along with me working out and the different foods that I was eating.
That's amazing, Dexter. Thank you for being so candid with your story because, you know, I'm a strong believer there's multiple paths to regaining control of your health, right? And to losing weight. And so, but I think that many people, they want to be able to do it the way that you did it, and I think that your story is very inspiring of what is possible. But I will say this, I want also our listeners to understand that Dexter's journey is not your journey, my journey is not your journey, Erica's journey is not your journey. Everybody has a different path, right? And so uh, when you start talking about weight and health, it's complex. It's very complex. But the common denominator that every path has, I keep saying it, is the lifestyle changes. You know, it's like Dexter is a great example of he was telling folks like, hey, you could do this, do that, and they're having success. And he's like, uh, what is happening? You know, and
Right.
you had to have kind of your come to Jesus, well, like, you know, so your blood sugar was crazy, and that I'm
Mhm.
sure was the big push, you know, over the cliff, so to speak, to say, okay, I've got to figure out how do I benefit from the things that I'm telling other people to do and they are benefiting. So no,
Correct.
you still didn't get a pass from having to change your lifestyle in order to get to where you are today, right? And
Correct.
I think that's just, we can't emphasize that enough, is that you've got to change your lifestyle
You have
along with whatever it is that you choose to do, whatever it is that, you know, you've got to pull the arsenal out. That has to be a part of your plan. And so there's a question I want to direct to you that's in the chat. And you already have started to share this, but someone said, are you comfortable sharing some of the supplements that you take? And you talked about the CMOS.
yes.
Well, and is apple cider vinegar part of your regimen?
Okay. Um, I take elderberry, turmeric,
Hmm.
sea moss.
Hmm.
What's something else that I take on a regular basis? Um, when it comes to apple cider vinegar, me personally, no, I do not use apple cider vinegar. And the reason why I don't use it is because of its acidic level. So, apple cider vinegar is good for some things, but for me, no, I do not use apple cider vinegar because of its high acidic levels or acid levels. Okay. So no, apple cider vinegar I don't use. Now, do I know and have some of my participants that use them? Yes, I do.
Hmm.
Some of them get great results, or I'm gonna say good results. Others not so good.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
It's all about what you put in you. And back to what Erica said earlier, if you don't know your levels, you really have to be careful with a lot of these different supplements. Just because someone says it works for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you like that. Everybody is different. Everybody's different. So we eat differently and our body adjusts to things differently also.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. So that you really have to be mindful of. really, really have to be mindful of.
Yes, yes, that's very, very true, Dexter. And I think we can't emphasize that enough. Is it your body, your chemistry, your health issues are unique to you, and so that's why you really do need to make sure that you have well-trained health professionals on your as part of your lifestyle change plan and journey, and that you really educate yourself about what is the best way to incorporate these things or not,
True.
onto your personal journey. So it's really very, 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 very important, and we'll continue to say that until we're done tonight,
Face.
until we're finished, right? Until we're blue in the face, right?
Right.
Mhm. Okay. So I was writing down what you said that you use, and I actually have used sea moss gel. You just made me think I probably should go back. And the other thing I'm going to say, make sure that you get a good quality sea moss gel. There's a woman here who makes it. She literally makes it. I'm in Pittsburgh, and she makes it. She's actually called the sea moss gel lady. And I think she has a PhD. She studied supplements and things like that. So again, I want to emphasize all these supplements are not created equal. So you need to do your research and you need to make sure that you're getting them from a reputable place and that the ingredients are what they say they are and not a bunch of fillers. Because listen, the hustle is real out here. So
Very.
it's very real. So you need to make sure that you're informed and you know what you're getting.
Right. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead,
what I
Dexter.
what I tell my participants also, just because somebody is selling it and they're pumping it up and saying how good it is, that is not always the case.
Hmm.
Um, when I take sea moss, it is like you have people that sell sea moss in the gel form, like you said, and they have
Hmm.
different flavors and
Hmm.
things like that. The guy that I buy my sea moss from, he actually gets just the sea moss and he makes it in home.
Hmm.
And it's no, he doesn't put a taste to it. He wants you to get it just like the earth made it. That's how you're going to take it. Hear
Hmm.
me? And when I'm telling you that it is a very distinct taste that you will not forget, it is very strong. But
Hmm.
you can instantly tell the results in a duration of 2, 3 days. You can see your energy levels getting better. Or in my personal experience, let me say that I could instantly tell my energy levels getting up, me being more active, me having less joint pain. Because
Yep.
whenever I played football, I had a real bad knee injury.
Hmm.
So um, after that, developing scar tissue, some arthritis, and things like that,
Hmm.
I don't feel those things anymore.
Hmm.
Now I could tell when if I miss it or I run out of my pills or my CMOS pills that he makes. When I run out, I can really tell the difference if I don't
Hmm.
get it. Within a week span, 2 week span, something like that. But yes, be sure that you are getting the actual thing, okay,
Hmm.
or to its purest form. Let me say
Hmm.
that.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. You're gonna make me run out to my grill and get some because
No,
about that.
go,
Yes,
go
absolutely.
see her.
And it does, and it really does help a lot with inflammation. And I think that's the other thing too that we don't realize is a lot of our chronic diseases that we deal with, right? Like pre-diabetes, diabetes, hypertension, all those things. A lot of that, the underpinning is inflammation in our bodies, right? So
Correct.
you can address that. So turmeric and sea moss and
Hmm.
elderberry, those are all supplements that help to address inflammation, among other things. So but again, make sure you do your research and don't just buy it off the streets. It's like you need to make sure you get it from reputable places, and people who know what is happening with that. So um, yeah, that's good stuff. Um, do you guys have anything else you want to say about that before I pivot again?
When you said supplement, Michelle, it kind of ticked my head and just kind of hearing all this great conversation. I mean, I can sit here for 2 hours. I know we don't have 2 hours, but I'm
Mhm,
enjoying it, And when you
mhm,
said supplement, like the key to it, it's supplement when we think about its most basic term. It's like we're just enhancing. It's not that like that cure. And I think when we think about all these things, we go with it with, oh my gosh, what is it's gonna cure me? And that's not the thing. So we just kind of have to go back to like the root of the word and like what are we expecting from it?
Mhm. That's a great point, Erica. And you mentioned before, you were saying, the 500 billion, if we could somehow like harness that and help people, because I mean, let's face it, there's people do live in food deserts, and there are situations that prevent people from getting really good healthy foods, right? But if we could somehow take that 500 billion that's being spent on all these wild things, and help people to be able to access like the foods, the leafy green vegetables, the grilled chicken breast, all of those things that we know, and good quality. And I'm going to say that too about the food, because unfortunately, the way that a lot of our food is manufactured, right,
Very true.
complicates this issue of having the vitamins and nutrients available to us just naturally. And so really, it's a big kind of vicious cycle, but the best way is to be able to get those things right from the earth in the natural way that we were meant to be able to get them. And to your point, if we're not able to, for whatever reason, having supplements to help that still is not a substitute for trying to change your lifestyle around healthy eating. And I wanted to bring up something else that we didn't get to before I move on, is that mindset, right? And Dexter, when you were talking, and you said something that was very, I think, relevant. You said that as a security guard, you felt and believed that your size was everything, right?
Yes.
And so that was a mindset that kept you larger than your body actually needed to be,
Right.
right? Because you were not, you were leaning into, well, I need to be larger. So I'm sure that that impacted the choices you were making, how you were feeding
Oh,
your body, right?
most definitely.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
right. So I'm highlighting that because I think it's important for our listeners to hear that when you're trying to get healthy, you're trying to lose weight, if you're whatever it is that you're trying to do, it starts here. It
Yes.
starts in your mind and how you see yourself, what you think is possible. It has everything to do with how well you're going to make those changes. And change takes time, but it starts with your mind. Whatever, there's a saying that it's like, if you think that, then that's true. So if I think I can take control of my health, I will. If I think I can't, I won't. So
Very
there's
true.
a lot of power in what you think about yourself, what you see in the mirror, and how you treat your body.
Yeah.
So thought it was important.
So I know we have to like move on, but I see there's a question in particular. I know we need more time for that. That's a question that I can't sit here and answer today. But I wonder if there's a way. I was trying to look. I'm not sure of a way that we can have that answer sent to us and we can respond. It's the one about their interactions.
Hmm.
That is definitely something that is of concern. But I
Well,
don't
that's coming from our very own Dr. Angela Ford. So you've got time to
know. Okay.
research with Dr. Erica. So we'll get to it. We'll get Dr. Ford her answer. And she's asking, does CMOS interact with meds? So
You want me to
Dexter,
answer
did
it
you want
now?
to say something? Go ahead. If you've got it, go for it.
Well, from my experience, I have three very good friends of mine that are physicians, and so I actually and one that's a pharmacist also, and so we actually did. I don't want to say a test, but let's say um, I guess I guess it was a test on a few of my patients that wanted to try it,
Hmm.
that were on different medications like metformin and different things like that.
Hmm.
We had some on 2 and 3 blood pressure medications.
Hmm.
And one big thing that stood out to me is that my participants that we had that started using the CMOS that were on high blood pressure medications, two of those blood pressure medications were also fluid pills. Um,
Diuretics. Mm-hmm.
correct, diuretics.
Mm-hmm.
So what we learned was one of my participants within a 2 month span, um, a lot of the swelling that he was having in his legs really started to decrease tremendously and eventually went back to normal. Now, I don't want to just sit here and say, yes, it was the sea mouse that did it, is
Mm-hmm.
because he also went by my diet plan also.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very strict with that also. So I'm just not going to say, okay, well, it was the sea mouse, but I told him to still take his medication to see. So the next time he went back to his physician to get checked, once all of the swelling had decreased, his physician took him off of two of those diuretics. So his
Mm-hmm.
blood pressure decreased also. Now, I'm going to say this again. I'm just not going to sit here and say that it was just sea moss that did it, but I do think sea moss had a big effect on it, along with what I had him eating on a daily basis. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's just me, and that's from the experience that I've had with a few of my clients that tried it, and me talking to some of my friends that are physicians also.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
good.
so if it does affect another one, is turmeric also. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of the a lot of my participants, I'm not even gonna say participants because the patients I treat outside of BWHI, I tell them this also. You
Mm-hmm.
know, turmeric. A lot of people speak about turmeric. Turmeric is a natural anti-inflammatory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's extremely good. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I tell them to use it. I see how they respond with it or how their body responds with it. And I also ask them what are they eating. So I think whenever it comes to people taking stuff with your medication, if it's natural, talk to your physician about it first.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure he approves it. And if he approves it, or you can show him the results that you have gotten so far or thus far to what you've tried, then I definitely say go with that approach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if I can't just come out and say, well, stop taking medication because CMOS works, you don't need anything else. No, that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
So if it affects your medicine or it affects any of your medications from the herbs that I tell my participants and my patients outside of this, I have not seen any effects.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. Yeah. And again, we emphasize talk all this over with your physicians because we are not claiming to be MDs here.
Right,
We are
right.
not. We're not
And I'm
claiming to be
not.
there. Yeah. So definitely talk about it. But I also use turmeric. I do like to drink turmeric tea. Turmeric tea is a great supplement, and it definitely helps with joint pain and things like that. So um, at least that's my experience. There's a couple things here, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey, and then we're going to try, wrap it up. But you guys this is great. I want to weave in a question here, though, and so somebody asked. Katrina Hayes asked, "What are some good salt-free seasonings outside of Mrs. Dash?" I can recommend one. There's a company called Flavor God, and he has an incredible
Mm.
story. He created a bunch of seasonings because of his own health journey. Because a lot of the seasonings, and we like to spice it up, right? I like it spicy. I don't know about you guys, but I like all my little seasonings. But here's the spoiler alert: a lot of them have a bunch of sodium in them. And if you read it, just a quarter teaspoon, which that's a tiny bit, right? That's like the tip of your finger. Like might have like 500, 80 milligrams of sodium, which is not good for your heart health and all of that stuff, right? And so, but Flavor God is a company that makes salt-free seasonings that are amazing. All kind of different flavors, all kind of different. I mean, it's pretty amazing. So that's one. I don't know if you guys have another one that you recommend, but I buy some Flavor God seasonings. Nope, that's it. All right. Well, I'm going to pivot here and just tell you just a little bit about my journey. And so, as I mentioned earlier, I am also a bariatric patient, meaning that I had weight loss surgery in 2017 and have lost and kept off about 80 pounds. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's a before and after.
Wow.
Okay. That's a before and after. So, I will say that I'm one of those people who I had done it all. I had done everything. Like I said to you earlier, that if there was a magic pill, that a supplement that could have made me lose like 100 pounds, I promise you, I would be on here. That would be my claim to fame. And I would be telling you, look, listen, this is what did it. You need to all go out and get it. I did not find it. Okay. I did not find it. And I didn't find it. So, at any rate, after many, many years of trying multiple things, exercise, diet, all of those things, my PCP sat me down and said, hey, listen, obesity is a disease. This is not your fault. And I have to be honest with you that all those years that I like would try and fail, I really thought I was a failure about it. I really did. I would beat myself up and didn't understand like why, like I'm doing all these things and like I should be able to do this on myself. Michelle, you're a nurse, you're a mom, you're doing all this, you're exercising, you should be able to do this. How come you can't do this? So she sat me down after all the madness and she's like, listen, this is bigger than you. And I really would like for you to consider this. And so that is what made me start to take a look at that as an option, considering all the things I was doing. But one of the things that she said to me that will always stick out is she said, you are a perfect candidate. And she said, you know why? She said, because you're doing all of the things. And what she meant by that was I was already starting exercising. I was already changing my diet. I was working on the lifestyle changes prior to making that decision. So that's why I can emphatically say to anybody who's listening, listen, I think that bariatric surgery is a great tool for people who live with the disease of obesity because obesity is a chronic disease like anything else. And believe me, if I did not maintain the lifestyle changes that I maintain, I get to the gym no less than 3 times a week. In a good week, it's 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay. I go to the gym. That I've learned there's certain things my body just does not like. So I have told myself, if you want to love yourself the way that you tell everybody that you do, you are going to make choices that are going to honor and serve your body in a better way than the way that you used to. So, regardless of what path, what tools, and I feel you need access to all of the tools. You know, you need access to lifestyle change programs. If you're like me and you were trying everything, you might need bariatric surgery. You need to be able to get to the gym. You need to be able to walk. You need to be able to do whatever it is that you need to use in that toolbox in order to regain your health. And it's not just about the weight and the number on the scale, right? I had to let that go too. It's not about that because, for all intents and purposes, the scientists would say, well, you're still obese, right? But I promise you, my type 2 went into remission. Okay, once I lost the weight, and that happened almost immediately after I had the surgery. My type 2 went into remission. My blood pressure, with the exception of me getting carried away with the Motrin, has been in great, great ranges, right? I can sit on the floor and not be afraid that be embarrassed that I can't get up because that was a real thing, right? So I can sit on the floor and play with my grandson. Um, and I'm probably in better health now, and I'm almost 60. I'm in better health now than I probably was in my 30s and 40s. Okay. So, in terms of my numbers, as Erica's been talking about your levels, now when I go to the doctor, they do my levels, which is beautiful. My hemoglobin A1C is now 5 something, okay, which is within normal range. And just to let you guys know, when Dexter talked about his blood sugar being over 600, I don't know how he was still standing because those are
Yes.
coma levels for your blood sugar. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Normal blood sugar should be anywhere between 70, maybe 100 before a meal, right? So you're talking about really, really critical levels. And if you have a hemoglobin A1C, which is a measurement of your blood sugar over a 3 month period of time, okay, they want it in 5, and below 6 is the magic thing. That's where it sits. So I'm sharing all of that with you to say there are multiple ways to get to the healthy lifestyle, right? But it's not one or the other. Again, I know that could very easily gain that 80 pounds. I could do it. I know that I could do it without continuing to do the things that I now have learned to do, and actually that I welcome. And a lot of times people think that like exercise is a dirty word, right? It's not. Find the things that you like to do. Find the things that you like to do. I love to dance. I enjoy walking in beautiful places. So do that. Whatever makes you happy and brings you joy, do that. Then you can trick yourself into like, oh, like I just like walked in the park like for like a mile and a half, and I didn't even know that I did it because I was enjoying the scenery around me. So it's okay, right? All right. So now,
And also, Michele,
Mhm.
all that you said, as coaches, we're here to help. That's what we
Right.
do. So
Yes,
I believe we're going to go into a video, correct? And they can learn more. But that is what CYL2 is all about. And as coaches, that is what we're here to do. That's what we enjoy, and we'll love to walk with you on that journey.
absolutely, absolutely, and that is the beauty of what we do at BWHI, right? Our lifestyle change programming. You get a coach, you get support for a year. I mean, it's a get to. It's not like a have to. It's a get to. So with that, I'm going to pivot because we do have a video that we want to show you, and then we're going to wrap up.
We have some good news to report about prediabetes. Yes, 96 million U.S. adults have it, and more than 80% don't know that they do. But we now know that it can be reversed, which means type 2 diabetes can be prevented. We've just received a report that the Black Women's Health Imperative has a program. Change your lifestyle, change your life. CYL Squared gives you the tools and support you need to help prevent type 2 diabetes. Here's what folks are saying about the program.
The thing I really love about the program, and especially the group that I'm in, is we support each other. No matter what we're going through, we support each other. We talk to each other, we pray for each other, we give each other encouragement. And that's one of the most important parts about the program that I have received, is that no matter what I'm going through, they're there for me.
Imagine year-long access to a personal lifestyle coach and a community of support, including others also committed to making positive behavior changes. You get to meet with your lifestyle coach for 1 hour a week and learn how to change your relationship with food so you can shop better, prepare food in healthier ways, and eat differently. Even though it's virtual, the program does require you to actively participate in class. You will also have to report your weight, physical activity, and track your food throughout the week. But that all seems like a small price to pay for better health. Let's learn more from one of our coaches.
You come into this program and you are given a community, basically another family, where we love on you and we encourage you and we walk beside you and just remind you, that you are not alone, like you are not on this journey by yourself.
It sounds like the Change Your Lifestyle, Change Your Life program is truly living up to its name. Go to bwhi.org/CYL2 to learn more about this life-changing program.
Well, thank you so much. Honestly, if you are not part of CYL Squared yet, go ahead and sign up. Go ahead to the website and take the risk test, and that will get you started. And honestly, the support is unmatched. I can tell you that from personal experience, being in a class myself. Really, it's unmatched. So we hope you found this conversation helpful in discovering or enhancing your own lifestyle journeys, knowledge about, know a little bit more about supplements and how to navigate talking with your doctor about what is needed for your personal journey. And we appreciate you, and we acknowledge our supporters, the Centers for Disease Control. And of course, we are all honored and blessed to work with the Black Women's Health Imperative for this great work. So with that, I will say good night. Thank you to both of our guests, Dr. Erica and Dexter, for sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, and your passion for this work.
Oh, thank you, Michele. It was a pleasure.
Yes, thank you, most definitely.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.